Hello everyone, this is me, Carla. I'm back with another video. Thank you so much for joining in. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to all my YouTube videos. I decided to touch on base on something that was a little more different than my general health challenge, health journey. It's something that I thought a lot about because I get asked this question a lot. I get expected, being that I am in the dating field again. And I just wanted to share a video to kind of give an insight of my thoughts about this particular subject. As you can see, I titled this video, I'm Not a Girl Scout. And the reason why I say I'm not a Girl Scout is because I don't sell cookies. No. So being that I've had so many people ask me, I decided to go ahead and touch base on it. Now, I get it. I'm grown. I get it. I have kids. Well, they're all grown now, but I have kids. So I know that it took something to get the ones that I have. I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday, and my name show ain't Mary. It's Carla. So I know it took some action to get that. I mean, I wasn't born yesterday. Maybe the day before, but no, that's another story. But anywho, people need to understand that just because a person chooses to be celibate, just because a person chooses not to open the cookie jar and let the whole world get a taste of what they got or whatever, I have to always go back and say, well, have you ever seen a Girl Scout give out a sample? They sell cookies all the time. In order to get their cookies, you have to buy the whole box. I used to be a Girl Scout years ago. Troop 386, back in the 70s. But not once have we ever gave out samples. Now, do I look like Kroger? No, I'm not Kroger. But even if you go to Kroger, you're not going to get a sample of a cookie. Even if you go to Publix or Sam's, you're still not going to get a sample of the cookie. So why should I? Why should I pass out my cookies until somebody decides to buy the box? Sure, yes, I hear about, well, you got kids, and that was then, this is now. What it mean? I used to be a baby, but I'm not now. I used to be in high school, but guess what? I'm not now. So what does it matter if what I did back then compared to what I'm doing now? Now, let me touch base on this right quick. A lot of people think that my reason for not giving up the cookie or the cookie jar or opening it up or whatever has to do with either my faith walk or because I saw the way they phrased it on Steve Harvey's movie, Think Like a Man, Act Like a Woman, Think Like a Man. So, no, it has part to do with it, but then again, it doesn't. Steve did make a valid point in his movie and his book, because I actually read his book as well. So I could, because all movies don't ever tell what's all in the book. So I actually wanted to read the book too, so I did. And he did make a valid point about, when you go into these companies, whether it's a Fortune 500, like Steve said, or anywhere, basically, they don't give you their benefit package up front. Not if it's a good company. 9 times out of 10, you got to work with them at least 30 days, 90 days. They want to know if you're going to be there for the long haul or, that kind of thing before they start opening up benefit packages to you. So he made a valid point on asking women, why do women give up their benefit packages on the first day? Good point. But that played a little bit of a part when I got thinking about that, as well as my faith walk. Because, okay, I'll admit, I'm pulling the covers off and being, honest. yeah, I got touched a little bit with my faith walk. Things did not line up the way I needed it to. I don't know, call it a punishment, call it reality, call it what it is. But a lot of things that happened in my life back then wasn't falling into line the way I needed them to. So I started to take heed and take note of the patterns that were taking place. If I did this, then I saw this. If I tried that, then I saw this over here. And it was like, I had to start weighing the good with the bad. And I learned that a lot of the bad that was coming about wasn't worth the good. And then at the end of the day, what was the point? Make it make sense. What was the point? What was the point on opening up, giving a man my heart in that way when I wasn't getting anything back in return? It wasn't worth it to me. I felt like, I was more valuable than that, because if I'm going to give a man my 100%, I expected that in return. And 99.9% of the time, I wasn't getting it back in return. I was just a phone call, or whenever he had wanted something to do or whatever. So, of course, I started, like Michael Jackson said, looking in the mirror, man in the mirror, but I was a woman in the mirror, trying to get an idea of exactly what was going on, figuring out these patterns. So I'm just like, you know what? This is not the way I want to live my life. Yes, I want to date, but I don't want to open a cookie jar. It's point blank. Yes, it would be nice to be able to go out, go to the movies, go out to dinner, go to concerts, go to, I don't like sport bars because people smoke. I don't like club scenes because it's too loud and I can't hear the people talking beside me. So I like things more mellow as far as the sound. Excuse the dogs, they are barking in the background. So I'm trying to talk louder over the dogs if I can. But I try my hardest to, to avoid certain situations where it's too loud because of the fact, like it is now in the background. Let me see if I can get them to stop. I'm back. I got them to settle. I don't know what happened. I don't know if somebody walked in and out of the door or something, but it stirred them up and got them riled up. But anywho, as I was saying, I rarely go anywhere that's real loud because of the fact that the noise drowns the person out. I really can't have any good conversation with them. I've never been to a poetry club, thought about it, but I never could find the right gentleman who wanted to go because in their mind, I guess it's kind of boring. Maybe bowling if I don't injure my shoulder too much, or basically what I'm saying is general dating. Okay, period, point blank. What's wrong with just meeting up or getting together, going Dutch, whatever? Just date. Why do we have to play with the cookies in order to consider ourselves in a relationship or dating? What's wrong with it? I've been asked, do I kiss? Let's see. Yeah, I do, because I know where to stop. Now, if he can't stop, then I suggest he go get him a cold bottle of water. Me, I know where the stop and limit is. Is that considered flirting? No, because you knew up front from day one, you ain't getting no cookies. Do I expect them to pay my way to go anywhere to think they're going to get the cookies? No, because if I don't have money for myself, I'm not going. Period, point blank. Non-negotiable. I make sure I got my own money to cover my own way. And if I decide to ride with them, I make sure I have a way to get back home safely. So that there is no, well, I took you here. What about this? Well, I paid for that. What about that? Well, I told you up front. What about that? How about that? So there shouldn't be no discrepancy in all the matter. Like I said, I'm not a Girl Scout. I don't give out cookies and I don't sell them either. So if you want my cookies, you got to get married. If we're not married, then we got to be so close to it to where I'm secure in this relationship. I know you're secure in this relationship. I trust you 101%. I don't have to worry about whether or not you sneaking Jane, Jody, and whoever else in my bedroom. Or I come over to your house and I got to worry about walking in on Jane, Jody, or whoever else on your end of the stick. Because I don't have time for that. I'm not trying to catch nothing, first of all. No. And then second of all, I ain't got time for it. I don't want to hear about X, Y, and Z, da from all these other people. I don't want to see all over social media that, on Sally Mae's say Facebook account that, oh, she snugged up with such and so and so. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to hear about it. Yes, correction. I want to know about it, but I don't want to hear about it. I want to know about it because I need to know how to process things from then on out. But will I trust Sally with the information? No, maybe not. I'll investigate it, but I'm not going to just go up there and accuse my man for nothing. Will I listen to what Sally got to say? Maybe. But would I follow through with what Sally said? Nope. But I will turn my radar on what Sally said. So, and at the end of the day, because I know women are trifling too. I know if Sally want my man, she gonna do something to make me run away from it. She gonna do something to cause some type of confusion in it. So that's why I'm like, I'm not opening my cookie jar to just a man that I'm dating, because of the fact that it's not enough time to build a trust bond with them. It's not enough time to try to figure all this other stuff out. I know everybody got skeletons in their closets. Okay, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I got to be sure that when I open my jar, that my heart is going to be protected. That's the bottom line to it. And I've heard it, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. I read that book as well. And they said in that book that a woman's cookie jar is connected to their heart. So that's why when women give away their jars, or open their jars up to men, they are more, crazy, so to speak, when they go out, the men go out there stepping out on them. That's why you got movies like Obsessed. That's why you got movies like, can't think of the other one, Thin Line Between Love and Hate. That's where those movies come from. And not saying that I'm one of them kind of women. I just don't want to be in that situation. Period. Point blank. I know my heart's connected to my jar. And I can say to a man, I love you all day without giving him the jar. Because if I say it, I mean it. I'm not going to say it if I don't mean it. It's just not me. I can't do it. I'm not even going to try to lie about it. First of all, he going to know if I'm lying or not because I don't have a poker face. Don't ever ask me to play poker with you, because guess what? If we team and we partners and we playing poker and I got a good hand, we going to lose because the other team going to know it. If we losing and we got a fake hand and we trying to bluff somebody, you don't want me on your team, because my facial expression is going to tell everything that I'm thinking. Trust and believe that. So a man's going to know by looking at my expression what I'm thinking, whether it's something genuine that I love him, it's genuine that I want to be with him, it's genuine that I may be ready for the cookie jar to open up just a little bit. But I don't need no pics. I don't need no questions. I don't need nobody asking me 15,000 times a day. I don't need nobody asking me why all day, every day. I don't need no, well, if you love me, well, I guess I don't. If you love me, you wouldn't ask me. Period, point blank. It is what it is. We're not in high school no more. I don't fall for them little lines anymore. Those days are over with. And I wasn't even doing it in high school. So guess what? It didn't matter either way. Heard them already. And at the end of the day, I've even had this question. Well, don't you think about it? No, I do not. The only reason why I'm thinking about it now is because I'm addressing the situation, because it keeps coming up in conversation when I talk to guys. And I've even been told that if I want to date somebody, I've got to be ready to open the jar. Well, guess what? I guess I won't be dating no more. If that's the case, I guess I will be having platonic relationships with a whole lot of people, because I'm not ready for the jar to open. The jar's been closed now for, it's been some years. But I'm like, do I miss it? No. Because I even found out Walmart sell that if I want something, I can go to Walmart. But I don't miss it. I don't even want it. I don't even think about it. So I really wish, guys would understand that just because a woman did something in her past don't necessarily mean that's where she is today. Like I said, we've done a lot of stuff in our past. We were in Pampers in our past. We were sucking bottles in our past. We were in high school in our past. But that doesn't mean we're doing that today. So for the love of mankind, please understand, gentlemen of the world. Please understand that just because a woman says she loves you, or just because a woman says she wants to be with you, doesn't necessarily mean she's ready to open that cookie jar up to you. And it doesn't necessarily mean that she thinks less of you or she doesn't trust you. Apparently, that's time when you need to look in the mirror yourself. Because if that woman is worthy of you, and if she's worthy enough for you to take her cookies from, at least have a heart and be genuine enough to her, knowing that her heart is attached to that cookie jar, and be real with her. Because they always say, you can't change a hoe into a housewife. Well, stop running out there trying to expect us to be hoes. And then we can be housewives. Don't get mad when we don't want to be hoes. Don't get a chip on your shoulder because we don't want to be one. Some of us want to be housewives. Just think about it. Men are known for saying it. They don't want a woman who have a high body count, but yet still, you want to be one of the ones who beat her body count. What do you want? So when men are asking women, do you want this or do you want that? The question they should be asking is, what do I want? What do I need? If you want a woman, a real woman, who has enough dignity and self-esteem to want to close her cookie jar and wait till the proper time to open it because she has dreams of becoming somebody's housewife, then respect that. That should, if anything, should be the one you should be flocking to more, instead of Sally Mae and June out there on the street, because they got plenty of hookers out there on the street, baby. Trust and believe. I'm not one of them. And a lot of other women like me aren't either. So whatever you do, stop trying to make us be. That way, when the time is right and we've waited, you'll be happy. Because think about it. If you're not a man that's willing to go to the thrift store and buy your clothing and your shoes and your undergarments, let's get more intimate, then why you want to keep using women for what they have? Same thing. Not many people go to the store but me, because I'm on a health journey and I'm not going to keep buying out of high-priced clothes just to be given away to other people. I worked hard for my money, And I can only wear my clothes for about a month, month and a half at the most, before it's time for me to get something else if I really want it to fit nicely. But that's in another video. Check out my previous videos on that. But my point is, gentlemen, to all the gentlemen out here in the world, just because a woman don't give you her cookies don't necessarily mean she don't love you and she don't trust you. Just because a woman don't give up her cookies don't mean it's your job to make sure that she does. If anything, you need to honor that woman and treasure that woman for the virtuous woman that she is, regardless of what she did yesterday. The matter is what she's doing today. So with that, I want to close out. Wish you all love, peace, and happiness.
I don't mean like to get it poppin', but these bitches in my business call me out to choosing violence. If you see me out in public, you don't know me.